Uncle Phil is a fair man. He can't blame me for none of this.
Will, I'll kill you.
Look, Uncle Phil, this ain't my fault, man.
From furious lectures to hilarious outbursts, get ready to laugh and cringe as we count down the top 10 most epic meltdowns from the one and only Uncle Phil on the iconic 90s sitcom, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Number 1. Uncle Phil was feeling down about Carlton and Will moving out. Carlton joined him in the living room, and Uncle Phil expressed his reluctance to let him go. Carlton explained that Will said it was time for them to be independent.
I don't want you to move out.
Will says I do. He says it's time for me to leave the nest, become independent, and have sex with girls. Safe sex, mind you, but lots of it.
Uncle Phil's sadness turned to anger, and he unleashed his frustration on the boys, blaming Will for influencing his son.
Is this what you been telling my boy? That life is one big orgy? Well, college is hard work, son, followed by a family, which is even more hard work. And a teenage daughter who doesn't want to be seen with you in public. And a wife who wants you anywhere near her. And a butler who may be the father of your child. And a guardian.
Number 2. Will and Carlton played a prank on Jeffrey, convincing him he'd won a $26 million lottery. Overjoyed, Jeffrey quit his job.
In case you hadn't figured it out, I quit!
However, when the boys revealed the truth, Jeffrey was humiliated and decided to leave. Uncle Phil was furious when he found out and ordered the boys to find Jeffrey and persuade him to return to work.
You did what? Are you out of your horny little adolescent minds? What you did was not only humiliating, it caused Jeffrey to quit his job. Look, you big-eared freeloader, you take your little square-headed cousin here, and you find Jeffrey, and you bring him back, or they'll never find your bodies. And I'm a judge. I can make it happen.
Number 3. Will bet Carlton he couldn't survive a weekend in Compton, where Jazz lived. To Will's surprise, Carlton quickly fit in with the gangster lifestyle, scaring Will. That night, Will had a nightmare that Carlton had become deeply entrenched in the gangster life and was stealing from their Bel-Air mansion. In the dream, Will entered the mansion and Uncle Phil, thinking Will was corrupting Carlton, choked him, blaming him for influencing his son.
$2.
Who's responsible for this?
Listen, I can explain.
Will.
Number 4. Carlton and Will drove Mr. Firth's Mercedes to Palm Springs for a lawyer's retreat. They were wrongly pulled over by police, accused of stealing the car, and arrested. To get their parents' attention, they falsely confessed on live TV to stealing cars. Philip and Vivian Banks saw the confession and rushed to the police station, but were initially denied the boys' release. Mr. Firth arrived, revealed the boys' true identities as Philip's sons, and the police promptly released them, prompting Philip to scold the officers.
Did you notify their parents? No, because we're their parents. So, officer, don't tell us to wait, and don't tell us to sit down. Just open that damn cell and let those two boys out of there, or I'm going to tie this place up with so much litigation that your grandchildren are going to need lawyers.
Number 5. To recoup lost money, the boys took a stripping gig paying $500 a night. Carlton performed, but his mother was in the audience and stopped him mid-show.
Carlton Banks, you put your clothes on this minute! Mommy!
Back home, they faced Uncle Phil's wrath. He demanded to know why they needed the money, and the boys explained. Uncle Phil was furious with them.
Do I look like a white guy named Warren? Now, you get that bracelet back, and for the next 6 weeks, I don't want to hear you breathe. Or I'm calling the feds myself.
Number 6. The Banks family met with the Hoovers to discuss Paula's bullying of Ashley at school. However, the conversation quickly turned heated as Philip and Dr. Hoover blamed each other's children for the problem. The argument escalated, and Philip lost his temper, punching Dr. Hoover in the face.
Well, speaking as a lawyer, I can only say that your daughter suits the criminal profile to a T. Right down to the low-sloping forehead and the wide jaw suitable for grains and small rodents.
I think you must have her confused with your mama.
Number 7. To distract Jazz from a poker game, Will fabricated a story about witnessing a murder and being placed in a witness protection center.
Floyd Palmer.
Hey, look, no. Come on. I'm more like a Malcolm Akbar Mustafa. It's taken.
He claimed the government changed his identity and relocated his family to protect them. Will's story was so convincing that he even imagined Uncle Phil arriving at the center, furious at being taken from his Bel Air mansion.
Vi gave birth to a child named Will, whose sole purpose in life has been to make mine a living hell. But how you managed to have me ripped out of my wonderful life in Bel Air and relocated to this landfill boggles my mind.
Number 8. Will's friend Keith, a comedian, visited the mansion and Will tagged along to an audition. Will's charming ways impressed the host, who added him to the comedy lineup. Excited, Will told Uncle Phil he wanted to pursue a comedy career, but Uncle Phil quickly crushed his dreams, forbidding him from going near the comedy club.
Guess there's only one thing for me to do. I'm gonna nail your behind to the floor. And if I catch you anywhere near a comedy club, I'm gonna break every funny bone in your body. Do I make myself perfectly clear?
Perfectly.
Number 9. At a party, Will discovered Ashley in a closet with a college linebacker. He took her home, scolding her for being irresponsible. Uncle Phil overheard the conversation and confronted Ashley, sending her to her room. When Ashley went missing, the family searched for her. Will found her in the pool house and brought her back, leading to a talk with her parents.
You're 15 years old. You have no business at a party with college boys.
All my friends were there.
Your friends don't live here. I can't do this. You talk to your daughter. I'm done. You have to understand is that we know what's best for you. It may not seem like that now, but one day you'll understand that. End of discussion. And another thing. As long as you live in this house, you will follow our rules. That's it.
Number 10. Uncle Phil took Will to the courthouse, where he was judging Luther, an ex-convict who'd violated probation. Luther claimed it was hard to find work due to his past. Will convinced Uncle Phil to give Luther a chance, and he was hired to work at the bank's house.
Hey, Uncle Phil, you could give him a job.
Are you crazy? He's an ex-con.
And plus, I'm telling you, I got a good feeling about this guy. Look at him.
However, when the family returned from dinner to find their home burglarized, they suspected Luther, and Uncle Phil blamed Will for vouching for him.
Uncle Phil is a fair man. He can't blame me for none of this.
Will, I'll kill you.
Look, Uncle Phil, this ain't my fault, man.
I don't believe this. Why don't you give him a job, Uncle Phil? Huh? I got a good feeling about him, Uncle Phil.
But if we want to be serious about this, this is all your fault. If you had let me go to the beach, then none of this would have never happened.
Will, I will give you till the count of 10 to get out of my sight. 9.
Thank you for watching this video, and I hope you enjoyed it.